Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and today I wanted to talk about the changes that we are going to be seeing to the Recon class in Battlefield 4. DICE is making a lot of changes across the board, and these changes, I have a feeling, are not only going to make the Recon class a lot more satisfying to play, but a lot more effective and just more enjoyable role to play in Battlefield 4. And so the first significant change that's probably going to have the most drastic effect doesn't even have to really do with sniping. It's actually the suppression effect. They're now making it so that light machine guns, basically the support weapons, are gonna be the ones to suppress the enemy, and then while assault rifles, engineer weapons will still have a slight suppression effect, it'll be nowhere near as potent as it is in Battlefield 3. And if you've played as a sniper in the game currently, you'll know that the suppression is such a hindrance on your performance. I mean, if you miss that one shot and they start to shoot back and you get into a firefight with someone, if you're suppressed, you are at a huge disadvantage compared to them, especially if they're using an assault rifle. An assault rifle, if you are fully suppressed, if you put a bunch of bullets down range, it doesn't matter if a couple miss. A couple will line up and you'll get the kill. But when you're using a bolt-action rifle, your accuracy is a lot more important. Missing one or two shots could mean the difference between life and death. And if you're fully suppressed, good luck getting a kill. You have to get behind cover, you have to wait a couple of seconds before you can go peek your head out, and that gives the enemy a huge advantage over them. And so now that they are changing it so that only light machine guns have that dramatic effect for the suppression, it's going to make it a lot easier to duel other people and to get into firefights with assault and engineer players, simply because they're not going to have that huge advantage over you, which was the suppression effect in Battlefield 3. They are also adding in a rangefinder, and while this has been a huge request from the sniper community, they're also allowing you to zero out your bolt-action rifle. Now, if you're not familiar with that terminology, basically what this allows you to do is if you've identified that a camping sniper, let's say, is 500 meters out. He's sniping in a tower. He hasn't moved for the last 5 minutes. What you can do is zero out your bolt-action rifle to 500 meters. Now, all you have to do is aim at the target's head, and as long as he isn't moving, you pull the trigger, you're gonna get that kill. No longer will you have to adjust for bullet drop, at least as long as you've zeroed it out correctly, you have the correct distance. As long as you pull the trigger, they're not moving, you're gonna get a guaranteed kill. And while you're probably not going to be able to do this for every single engagement, and it's probably going to take some time to get used to it, I have a feeling that this is going to make a lot of Recon players happy, especially the ones that like to go for those long ball shots. And so another significant change, which I'm sure many of you are already aware of, is that the Recon players are now going to be the bearers of C4. And for me personally, this is phenomenal. No longer will snipers be completely useless against enemy vehicles, and it just fits, in my head, the Recon role. I mean, when I think of someone who's going to be a Recon, they're going to be the guy going behind enemy lines, trying to gather information for their team, placing down C4 on key structures and vehicles, and then when things are about to go down, they blow everything to hell, giving your team a huge advantage. So it just fits the role, and now that they have it, they have so many different ways on how they want to approach playing as a sniper. Do I want to play more aggressively, get up close and personal, throw motion balls all over the place? Motion balls have also been confirmed, and place C4 on enemy vehicles. Or do I want to play the really long game, use a rangefinder, zero out my bolt-action rifle like we just talked about, and play the long game? Essentially what DICE is doing here is that they're simply just giving Recon players more tools at their disposal to allow them to play how they want to play, which in my opinion is the best way to handle things. They are also going to be implementing a variable zoom attachment. You have probably seen this in other first-person shooters, and once again, this just goes in line with this is just giving us more tools to approach and how to take out our targets. If you know that you're going to be going into a building, that essentially means that there's going to be a lot of close encounter to medium range engagements, you can zoom out the scope so you're better at taking out those targets. But if you are seeing someone, he's way out in the distance, you're having a hard time seeing him, you can zoom in the scope so that you have a better line of sight on them. And I have a feeling that if you use this in tandem with the rangefinder and the zeroing out of your bolt-action rifle, it could be a pretty deadly combination. Up close, you're not going to have a problem because you can zoom out your scope, and then if anyone is way off in the distance and they're camping, you can use the rangefinder to effectively take them out by zeroing out your scope. It'll be interesting to see how they balance everything out, because you don't want to have one combination of attachments to be the most prevalent. You don't want everyone to use the same thing, but it's very cool to kind of think of just the possibilities that DICE is going to allow us to mix and match to approach everything in Battlefield 4. But that is about it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know down below in the comment section what one thing from the Recon class you are most excited about in the upcoming game. Is it the fact that the suppression effect is being changed? Are you liking the amount of different attachments and gadgets that are going to be at your disposal? Let me know down below in the comment section. I also quickly wanted to thank Level Cap for being awesome once again. He was the one that provided today's E3 Battlefield 4 gameplay, so thank him for being amazing. But until tomorrow, guys, have a good one and take it easy.